and welcome everybody. So today we're going to be doing lesson number 41. God goes with me wherever I go. Today's idea will eventually overcome completely the sense of loneliness and abandonment of which all the separated ones experience. Depression is an inevitable consequence of separation. So are anxiety, worry, a deep sense of helplessness, misery, suffering, and intense fear of loss. Well, I have to tell you, every human being on this planet at some point or the other experiences this, including myself. We think we may sometimes not experience this, but this feeling lonely, being feeling of loneliness despite the fact that you're surrounded with your loved ones, loss, deep sense of helplessness, misery, suffering, intense fear of intense fear. I have experienced it, and I believe that every human being on this planet does experience it from time to time. And it is in one of those experiences that my awakening happened, and I will be talking about it. These separated ones have invented many, many cures for what they believe to be the ills of the world. But the one thing they do not do is to question the reality of the problem. That is where the awakening happens, not in the misery, not in the anxiety, but when you start to question certain things as to why there is a repetition of stuff. What is it bringing to you? If you question that, your awakening is for sure. All of us are awakened beings at every point of time. But to completely be aware of that, that would be your turning point. As I certainly know that was mine. And many of the people that I have met have awakened to that question alone. Yet its effects cannot be cured because it is not real. The idea for today has the power to end all this foolishness forever. And foolishness it is, despite the serious and tragic forms it may take. Deep within you is everything that is perfect, ready to radiate through you and out into the whole world. Believe it, it is true. It will cure all sorrow and pain and fear and loss because it will heal the mind that thought these things were real and suffered out of its allegiance to these beliefs. You can never be deprived of your perfect holiness because its source goes with you wherever you go. Little did I know about that. You can never suffer because the source of all joy goes with you wherever you go. You can never be alone because the source of all life goes with you wherever you go. In three different ways, he tells us the same thing. Nothing can disturb your peace of mind because God goes with you wherever you go. That it's in itself is pretty comforting to know. We understand that you do not believe all this. How could you when the truth is hidden deep within under a heavy cloud of insane thoughts, dense and obscuring, yet representing all you see? Today we will make our first real attempt to get past this dark and heavy cloud and to go through it to the light beyond. There will be only one long practice period today. In the morning, as soon as you get up, if possible, sit quietly for some 3 to 5 minutes with your eyes closed. At the beginning of the practice period, repeat today's idea very slowly, then make no effort to think of anything. Try instead to get a sense of turning inward past all the idle thoughts of the world. Try to enter very deeply into your own self, keeping your mind clear of any thoughts that might distract your attention. From time to time, you may repeat today's idea if you find it helpful. But most of all, try to sink down and inward, away from the world and from all the foolish thoughts of the world. You are trying to reach past all these things. You're trying to leave appearances and approach reality. It is quite possible to reach God. In fact, it is very easy because it is the most natural thing in the world. You might even say it is the only natural thing in the world. The way will open if you believe that it is possible. This exercise can bring you startling results even the first time it is attempted, and sooner or later it's always successful. The way will open if you believe that it is possible. So it's in our belief. Just for a second, even against all odds, if you believe God goes with me wherever I go, just for a second, even if it doesn't sink in, even if you don't believe it, just for a second, try saying it and see what it brings up and see how you feel about it. We will go into more detail in connection with this kind of practice as we go along, but it can never fail completely, and instant success is possible. In today's world where we live, what instant success can we get? There is no instant success, but try this will work. Throughout the day, use today's idea often, repeating it very slowly and preferably with eyes closed. Think of what you are saying when what the words mean. Concentrate on the holiness that they imply about you, on the unfailing companionship that is yours, on the complete protection that surrounds you. You can indeed afford to laugh at fear thoughts, remembering that God goes with you wherever you go. It refers to the problem. There's only one problem, and that is of separation. There is a lesson about it. We'll read it. We'll come to know. Our first real attempt refers to the fact that this is the first meditation exercise in the workbook. As such, this lesson's instructions are foundational future meditation practice. This refers to response to temptation practice, in which we respond to our fear thoughts or other upsetting thoughts by repeating the idea of the day. This allows us to laugh at our fears, since it reveals them to be pure foolishness, as the second paragraph says. I just want to tell you that these are not just mere stuff. These exercises, if done properly, when I say properly, just by even reading it, and just like everything else, we all put some beliefs in the world, right? All the time, we believe something all the time. But go ahead, and if you wanted to, um, just even for a second, want to believe that it is all possible, um, then just that belief alone is suffice enough. The words are pretty beautiful. Look at this. There is a comforting in knowing that God goes with me wherever I go. Thing is, when a loved one passes away in our life, and we all experience that, we question a little bit about they were here right now and they're not there anymore. Maybe you were depending, like I was, not depending, but I kind of knew my dad would be around. And suddenly, when he passes away in 2014, I suddenly come to this questioning. We all do that. When nothing is certain, death is inevitable. Nothing is certain, but the one thing that is certain is God is always with you, because God is within you. The one place that we don't look is within ourselves, but we look everywhere else, everywhere outside. So these lesson comes to the primary fundamental thought, fundamental belief that where we should believe is that God is within us, and we can reach God at any time. And so that's why when this lesson says this is the beginning of the meditation, in quietness is when we hear God. In quietness is when we hear our intuition, whatever you can call it, divine soul, intuition, God, whatever name you give, it doesn't matter. But in quietness, that's why that meditation is important. Even if you get quiet for a minute to see what happens. Let the thoughts come and go, like the clouds that they are. See what happens. Sorry, it's a bit longer video, but wanted to give my two thoughts on that. Keep practicing, keep coming. This is your transformation. I love you. Have a great day. Have a great week. Namaste.